Today I'm going to be going over how to do the Dave's mod on the XR650L. The very first step in this whole process is to of course remove your carburetor. I have a separate video on that if you want to go check that out on my channel. So again, the first step in this actual Dave's mod is going to be taking off the float bowl. You're going to do this by removing the 4 Phillips screws on the bottom. You're going to go ahead and just lift off the actual float bowl itself then. And then be careful because it means you don't want to rip off the actual float itself. You're going to notice the baffle came off there. Keep that to this side for now. The next step in this process is going to be removing the needle jet holder. Following that, I'm going to be removing the slow jet. Now, I'm going to be moving back onto the needle jet holder. On top of that is going to be your main jet, so go ahead and unscrew that and reinstall the new ones as needed. You might as well go ahead and reinstall these because at this point in time you're just switching out the jets. This is pretty much rejetting. Following this, I'm going to be going ahead and unscrewing the pilot jet completely. After it's going to be fully uninstalled, I'm going to be heading on to the next step of the process, which is going to be grinding off the tab so you can actually adjust it later on. If you want to use a file at first and kind of create an edge, that works as well, and then I use a Dremel to just cut it off. Following this, because I didn't want a rough edge, I just filed off the remaining sharp bits. After you file off the tab, you can go ahead and reinstall it fully until it's fully seated. And then you're going to go ahead and back out 2.5 turns, because that's just what the standard recommendation is. You can start there and adjust as your bike needs. The next step is going to be removing the top cover on the carburetor. You're going to go ahead and remove the screw that has the hose guide. Keep the hose guide to the side, because it's going to be like just one of the breather tubes later on. It's going to go right through it. And you're going to go ahead and proceed to remove the other 3 screws, of course. Following removing the last screw, you're going to go ahead and remove the top cover, and you're going to see the spring exposed. Set the spring aside and remove the diaphragm. Just kind of pull straight out. After you pull it out, you're going to see the needle holder there. Go ahead and twist it left with a Phillips head as well, and it will come right out. After you go ahead and remove that, set it aside, keep track of it, and you can just set the needle, it falls right out. Following this, we're going to be drilling the slide with a 5/32 drill bit. I just used one that's made of brass and drilled out each one. They both came out smoothly. After drilling the slide, you're going to go ahead and shim the needle. I just used a number 4 washer from the local hardware store, and I'm going to go ahead and reinstall that. It'll just kind of set right back in. And then we're going to go ahead and be putting back the needle holder back into place. Just kind of push it in and twist it right. Afterwards, you're going to go ahead and take the slide and put it back in the carburetor. Make sure the needle lines up with the hole underneath it. Of course, then go ahead and realign the slide with the slot on the top of the carburetor. You see this little nub I'm pointing to, and then where it needs to be. Just go ahead and slide it and then press around the seal around the entire side so it fits perfectly fine. Go ahead and reinstall your spring as normal and put on the top of the carburetor back on. You're going to go ahead and put on the brackets and all 4 of the screws again, and that'll take care of the top of the carburetor, although Dave's mod necessary there. After you finish reinstalling that, that's it for as far as the Dave's mod go. I know a lot of people, they go ahead and install a uni air filter, and they go ahead and desnorkel their bike, which I will be making a video on shortly. It won't be long, but something super simple that really helps the bike breathe. And if you have an aftermarket exhaust, this is definitely an opportune time to do it, because you don't want to run your bike, of course, with the incorrect jetting with a new exhaust. That's just a way of straight disaster right there. Anyways, I really hope you guys enjoy this, and if it really helped you out, I would really appreciate it if you liked and subscribed. Thank you so much for all your support.